We have a little more Blue Jacket talk right now with our friend Bill Davidge of the Fox Sports Ohio Blue Jacket crew. Jackets are about a week into training camp. Got a win last night over Chicago. They're 1-1 right now in the exhibition season. Bill, does the organization even care about one-loss record in the preseason? How important is winning these games, or is it all about evaluating talent lines and all that stuff?
Well, I think anytime you drop the puck, you like to win. But on the other side of it, the idea right now is to be able to develop and make sure guys understand what the methodology is, what's the process to be able to get to that next level. And I think that's where John Tortorella and the entire staff have been able to tell, especially a lot of the young kids, here's what we do, here's how we do it, let's do it the right way. And things are going to happen in a positive vein. So it's nice to win, but the other side of it is, are we going through the process to be able to get there and be prepared for when you look at opening night, on that Thursday night in October.
You mentioned the young kids. I noticed Liam Foudy, who was the first-round draft choice for the Jackets, scored a goal last night. I'm sure that had to be a cool moment for him. A local kid, Cole Sherwood, got to play. How important, how special are these moments for young kids? We look at a preseason game, no big deal, but Liam Foudy's probably never going to forget last night. Cole Sherwood's never going to forget last night.
Matty, you know what? Anytime you get a chance to dress and play in an NHL game, when you're 19, 20 years old, you're trying to make that next jump from junior or college hockey into the National Hockey League. I know Liam Foudy, they had him on between periods last night, and he was ecstatic. He was just so happy to be able to make a jump there. He's 18 years old right now. And then how about Cole Sherwood, who I thought played very well last night as well, showing some strength. A kid from New Albany that is commending. He's done an outstanding job through his junior career. Now he's going to get an opportunity here at the next step, wherever it may be. But certainly they're letting everybody know what their skills are, and the evaluation goes on.
The cloud, I don't even want to say cloud. I don't know what the right word is, but the story hanging over the Blue Jackets at the start of training camp is the contract situations with Artemi Panarin, Sergei Bobrovsky. For the players, Bill, is this? How obviously they're aware of the contract situation and what the future is, but does it affect anything at all in the locker room? Does it affect anything during training camp and once this season gets going?
I don't think it does. I think everybody knows the scenario. I think everybody right now knows that, the season's going to start here in 2 weeks, and you want to prepare accordingly. And you control the things that you can on that given day, and you can't start looking too far ahead. You can't worry about what happened in the past. Right now, you do have a Panarin and Bobrovsky under contract for this year. How long that will be, we'll have to see. But I think everybody was disappointed when they heard that the bread man is not ready to do anything yet. It would have been really nice if he said, yeah, hey, I want to be here for the next 7 years and 8 years and be part of the organization. But right now he's given it some time. And in the meantime, like Cam Atkinson said, it's our job as players to be able to give him an opportunity to continue to build his game, which relates into wins and for this hockey team. That's our goal right now. And who knows when the time comes when he does want to either make a decision to either stay or leave. You've done the best you can. That's all you can really do. Put it behind you, move ahead, here's what we've got, and try to make something happen out of it.
And it's not like, I would think that Artemi Panarin comes into this season exceptionally motivated because whatever his future is, wherever it is, Bill, you don't, in a contract year, don't you want to have money is a big motivator. And he's in a contract year, Bob's in a contract year. Hopefully you get the best out of these guys.
Yeah, and I think that's the case, and that's what I've been watching since camp started last week. Right now, Torch is basically going through his so-called process to be able to prepare him accordingly, and that's a lot of skating, aerobically, anaerobically, and working on keeping the legs going, not quitting, finishing each drill, and you're under a time constraint. And when you take a look at the work that's being done right now by Artemi Panarin, as well as the drills that Bob's going through, they're at the top of the class. And that's what you want to be able to have. And hope That's going to relate to a real good start for this hockey team, and that's the goal right now. There's a lot to be proven right now. Jackets left early last year. They still have that little sting. It hurts a little bit when you think about winning your first 2 games and then losing the next 4. They've got something in the back of their mind that they want to do something about it. And when your leaders can lead, that's what you're looking for here this year.
Visiting with Bill Davidge, Fox Sports Ohio Blue Jackets analyst, dovetailing off of that. And we had Torts on last week, and I asked him, I'll ask you, how do you balance? I mean, this franchise did something last year it's never done before, and that is 2 consecutive years making the playoffs. But the obvious is that they've never made it out of the first round. So how do you balance as you look at the team, Bill, hey, they are making progress versus, man, we've got to take that next step. How does that, how do you square that, I guess, in your mind?
Well, square that I've got in my mind, Matt, is that they've done nothing. They have done nothing. They've basically made it to the playoffs. You win a couple of games. That's not near good enough. And I know right now this team, you just don't know with this league and what can happen on a given year. You have to be prepared to go through the 82 games and then start that second season. That's where it all starts. You want to get through. You want to be able to make the playoffs. But then that second season has to be something of importance. Yes, to be able to make the playoffs 3 years in a row, but you want to be able to get past the first round. You're looking at that silver cup being delivered down Nationwide Boulevard when you look at next June. That's what you're looking for right now. And forget about what's been done in the past because it's not good enough, and it's got to be better.
Yeah, it is interesting because the playoffs are great and everything, but I think we've had enough of the early exits, and they're in a division with a team that won the cup last year that had the similar kind of playoff history going for them, where they were always an early exit. So, Bill, it can happen. It absolutely can happen.
That's right, and that's the thing about you as an athlete, you as a coach, you as a so-called management, being part of a management team. That attitude has to be as such as that. You know what, we can do it. And when you start second-guessing what you're doing and how you're doing it, that's when the trouble arises. So if you keep pushing hard and take a look at today on what you have and don't get too far ahead of yourself, then that's something that's I think the culture has been changed since John Davidson has come in. And Yarmo has come in to be able to surround this team with some good players. Now it's John Tortorella and his staff's team to be able to take them to the next level. And that's where Torts has been consistent to say, we have to be better. Here's how we're going to get there. And if you're not on board with it, then there are other guys that will be. So pay attention. Jobs are at stake right now, and you want to be able to make sure when you get on the ice each day, you're giving it your all, and you're going to give something back to the process that means winning.
Well, part of that good talent that the Blue Jackets have is Zach Werenski coming off of the off-season surgery. He wants to play this during the preseason and get out there, hasn't played yet. How important is it, Bill, for Zach Werenski to get minutes during the preseason? He seems to want to right now. They don't want to get him out there.
Well, if I remember correctly, there was a guy last year by the name of Josh Anderson that didn't play any preseason games at all, and look at how he got started once his contract was done. Zach Werenski right now is in camp. He is skating. He's working. They're just taking time. He may see a game or two. I know they want to be able to just, keep those regulars to 2, 3, 4 games and make sure that they're ready for opening night and when that happens on the road. So, no, I talked to Zach yesterday in front of a bunch of people a bunch of the fans that have been really, part of our organization for years, and asked Zach that same question. You got through last year, Zach. How are you feeling? What are you looking at? And, what do you need to do better to be able to make it happen? And, he is such a pro right now. This is his 3rd year, and he's physically he is fine. But they're just taking it easy with him and making sure he's prepared accordingly.
Yeah, John Tortorella talked glowingly about him gutting out last year and everything that he went through. How difficult, Bill, was that injury for him to play an entire season with virtually?
Well, you figure, Matt, you in your 10th game last year, here you've got a torn labrum that just does not allow you to move your shoulder that much. And I'm talking from experience. I've had a couple of shoulder surgeries. And for the brace that he had on, which doesn't really allow you to take slap shots, and for a guy to score 16 goals with basically half of an arm or half of a body, give the kid a lot of credit. As a 20-year-old, he did what it took, and he said it was probably the biggest learning experience that he's had as a player since he started the game, is that how to overcome adversity and to be able to translate that into being part of a team game, change your style a little bit, and then when you're playing with one of the best players, best defenseman in the National Hockey League, a Norris candidate in Seth Jones, they work very well together. Every night when they get on the ice, something's going to happen. And the two of them, I thought, put on a pretty good clinic last year.
Well, Bill, we're looking forward to seeing you guys on Fox Sports Ohio. Make sure you keep Metzold in line all year. And appreciate you taking a few minutes for us.
Hey, Matty, anytime.